Now that I am no longer a teacher, thank God, I can finally say the things that have been on my mind all school year. Okay? As somebody that taught high school and basically educating our new young adults, we should all be scared. Every last one of us should be scared. These kids cannot read, they cannot write, there is no type of comprehension skills, no type of critical thinking. They cannot do anything on their own. They expect everything to be taught to them. Well, I won't even say taught. They expect everything to be given to them. So, in my class, we did this thing where I made them write once a week. So, they would have some type of assignment where they would have to write at least a paragraph, meaning 5 sentences. 5 sentences. The amount of assignments that I got in with 1 sentence, 2 sentences, the amount of complaints I got with the whole 5 sentences, that's too much, that's too much. Can we do 3? Can we do 3? Isn't 3 considered a paragraph? Oh, baby. We are in for a wild ride, y'all. Every assignment that I gave them, I kid y'all not, every assignment that I gave them, there was several students that came to my desk and asked me to walk them through the entire assignment, the whole thing. But genuinely, the truth of the matter is everybody is failing these kids. Everybody. The school board with all these different rules, they're failing these kids. The principals or admin altogether, they're failing these kids, and they're failing the teachers because they're basically telling us that we had to just pass a child along just to keep these graduation numbers up. So everybody. Oh, and don't get me started on the parents. Like, I would call and say, hey, your child is failing, and the first thing is, well, why didn't I know about this? Probably because you didn't answer the phone. Probably because you didn't respond to my emails. On top of that, you have 24-hour access to Power School. When I tell y'all it is horrible, like, the parents that are here now are not the parents that we had growing up. My parents check my Power School weekly. And still to this day, my brother just graduated high school a few weeks ago, and still to this day, his grades were checked. Everybody's grades were checked. So, unfortunately, it's not these kids' faults. I mean, yeah, they're lazy, but like, what are you supposed to do when all you got to do is tell your mama, well, she failing me, and the school board is going to accommodate that parent? Like, it's crazy, y'all. We should be very scared for our new nurses, our new doctors, our new everybody. These colleges are going to have to start lowering their requirements. They're going to have to start lowering the fact, or just lowering everything, because the way that stuff is going now, the amount of kids that are going to come into these schools and they cannot read, they cannot write, they cannot do anything without AI. We should be scared. We should really be scared. Have a great day.
Demetrius Fail, or Menchie, was only 2 weeks away from graduating high school, with his whole life ahead of him, when he was shot and killed. His loved one, who's known Demetrius for over a decade, tells me it feels like he lost a member of his own family.
I guess, what if?
That's the question Delegate Sean Stinnett, who represents the 41st District, is left asking after 18-year-old Demetrius Fail, also known as Menchie, was killed. Stinnett has known Demetrius since he was 3 years old.
It's like one of my own little kids, me being the big uncle. So I watched him literally grow up since, him, his brother, And my daughter, my youngest daughter, grew up pretty much in Kitty College at Baltimore City Community College.
He says he matured into a young man with goals and ambitions.
He was a kid that was trying to find his way in life. He reestablished himself as far as being closer to God and established his faith in Islam.
But those goals were tragically cut short on Monday. Baltimore City Police say around 5:40 in the evening, officers responded to East Preston Street to investigate several ShotSpotter alerts. Demetrius was found shot multiple times and later died at the hospital. Sinette learned of his passing while at a meeting.
Devastated, angry, hurt, not only that, a young child lost his life, but also even concerned about his parents, because I know how much his parents really loved him as well.
The way he died hits Sinette even harder, considering Demetrius was a part of the Baltimore Clean Streets program. One of its main focuses is mentoring youth to prevent arguments from resulting in crimes.
Well, overall, I think that we just have to find ways to do a little bit more to make sure that we reach to those, individuals that are establishing these types of what we call beefs.
He says Demetrius was close to starting a new chapter in his life.
He was 2 weeks away from graduating from high school, and then he wanted to get a CDL license, and that's something that, I was going to gift to him. We're not going to see the progression. We're not going to be able to see him get married and have children and give, just more smiles to other people.
There's no suspect information at this time, but if you do know anything about this shooting, call the Metro Crime Stoppers tip line. Demetrius' funeral will be held on Saturday. In Baltimore, Raven Payne, WMAR 2 News.
New at 5, Mobile County Sheriff's Office making a second arrest in connection to a deadly shooting. It happened at a post-graduation party earlier this month. Deputies say Graduate Overstreet has been charged with felony murder and attempted murder. The shooting killed 19-year-old Jalen Rivers and left 18-year-old Zachary Morgan injured, according to the sheriff's office. A 17-year-old also arrested a few days later and charged with felony murder.
In India Unsolved, a father and son were due to walk side by side at graduation, accepting their diplomas from Martin University this coming weekend. But a killer's bullet put an end to fulfilling that promise.
And in today's India Unsolved, Fox 59's Russ McQuaid returns to the scene of the crime and speaks with a heartbroken father who won't let his son's murder derail that dream.
It was on a rainy Friday afternoon in late January in this apartment complex near 34th and Georgetown Road when Kamari Hunt was shot and killed, most likely for the bag he was carrying on his shoulder. And while IMPD is looking for his killer, Kamari's father is planning for his graduation. Cameron Hunt told me he doesn't know why Kamari was killed, but his bag was missing. Maybe it was just a simple robbery. Kamari played football at Carmel High School, went to college in Ohio, but came back to Indianapolis and Martin University, where he studied psychology just like his dad.
And now it's time for me to give back inside of my community and be able to socialize in my community the right way by using Martin as a real good place and platform for him.
Kamari was designated a Goodwill Ambassador from Martin, representing the university on one of our shows, and was honored as a scholar.
I think Martin has set a path for us of success.
Kamari with his bachelor's and Cameron with his master's were due to receive their diplomas together at commencement this Saturday.
When we get our degrees, I think that's going to be able to change the world inside of there, not only changing the world, but we want to be able to shake up the city of Indianapolis and let them know that Martin is a successful school. I think that we were able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was cut short. It was cut short because of inside of life, things happen.
Is he going to be with you when you walk across that stage Saturday?
He's always with me, each and every day.
Kamari Hunt's killer took more than a life and a bag slung over his shoulder. He also took the potential of a young man who was ready to return and lead his community. Cameron Hunt will make sure that his son's legacy will not go unfulfilled. With India Unsolved, I'm Russ McQuaid.
Families of two teenagers hope for their recovery after a double shooting in Amite put them in the hospital. Andres Fuentes spoke to loved ones at the hospital.
Surveillance footage near South 5th and MLK in Amite captures gunfire. and even muzzle flashes coming from a car. This footage was captured around the same time and place. Amite police say a fight ended in a double shooting Monday night, sending an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old to the hospital.
Well, it was shocking, devastating to our family, you know.
Roger Brister says the victims in this case were loved ones of his. He says that the 18-year-old is Jarvis Brister Jr., who was set to graduate St. Helena Career College and Academy next week and then play football in the fall for Virginia University of Lynchburg.
He was shot in the back. It was behind the head. He was a good kid. He didn't deserve this, you know.
Loved ones say Derek Collins Jr., Brister's cousin, was also hit in the shooting.
He's doing fine. He's talking and responding. He had damage to his small intestines and his large intestines.
Collins's mother has not left her son's side by the hospital and questions why Amite police has not contacted them about the shooting.
You could come ask the victim what's going on, the one that's up.
In the meantime, the entire family says they will remain at the hospital until both Brister and Collins are released.
Justice should be served, you know, and like I say, we need answers and prayers right now.
And we did reach out to Amite's police chief for more information about this case, but we did not hear back this evening. As of right now, investigators do not have any suspects named in this case or a motive for the shooting.
Bullets fly at a high school graduation in Anniston. Hundreds in attendance and at least 100 shell casings found at the scene. One woman hit by the gunfire.
ABC 3340's Megan Scarano reports from East Alabama after talking to a woman who had family at the party.
Shot after shot.
Like Afghanistan. That's how I was.
Inciting terror into a crowd of 200 people, including teenagers.
It was kids running from the skating ring, behind this building, across the street. They were just scattered everywhere.
Chaos at a night meant for celebration. Anniston's Mayor Sierra Smith releasing a statement on the violence, reading in part, "To the shooter and anyone who thinks they can get away with this, know this, our city will not tolerate it." Chief Nick Bowles says the party was supposed to be over by midnight, but they called and asked the owner if they could stay until 1 a.m. He agreed, and minutes later, gunfire erupted.
It's a miracle that only one person was hit.
The business, known as the J Spot, has this sign posted on the outside advertising new management under the Blue Mountain Event Center. The owner did not want to comment on the incident.
There are other issues at hand with the business or possibly with entry fees being charged to this party, which would also be a violation. So there are other concurrent investigations going on at this time.
Bowles said there could be multiple shooters from what he referred to as opposing groups of people.
Words get exchanged, threats get exchanged, and then they don't have the mental capacity to handle things like adults, so they use firearms. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's reckless, and it could cost someone else their life and cost them their life, whether they get hurt or killed on the scene or they get sent to prison. It's not worth it. These are childish games.
Now the community, shaken by the incident, is rooting for their city to overcome.
Anniston is not a bad place. It's full of love. It's full of joy.
In Anniston, Megan Scarano, ABC 3340 News.
And there has been no information released on suspects. Bowles is urging anyone who was there to contact the Anniston Police Department with information. You can report tips anonymously.
And we have a new video tonight from a graduation party shooting that left one dead and 2 others injured. Deputies say they responded to the 1500 block of Williamson Road around 2:30 Saturday morning. They found 3 people with gunshot wounds. 25-year-old Jarvis Haywood died at the scene. Now on your screen right now is new video from outside of that party. Now 2 other adults were also taken to the hospital. One has serious injuries. If you have any information, you're asked to call Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number is at the bottom of your screen right now, 1-877-68-CRIME.
Suspects are in the Limestone County Jail after turning themselves in for a shooting. This is according to the Limestone County Sheriff's Office, who says this is in connection to the shooting at a graduation party in Mexia last weekend. Mexia police confirmed Mateo Spivey and Kingston Davis turned themselves in and are charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The pair has since bonded out. The shooting left one person injured.
And in 8 News Taking Action Alert tonight, we continue digging into that deadly graduation shooting that left an 18-year-old and his stepfather dead. Tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from the victim's mother about what she witnessed that day. 8 News reporter Autumn Childress joins us in studio. And now, Autumn, you have had a very emotional conversation with her today.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Deanna. As you just said, Tamika Jackson Smith lost her son and her husband in that graduation shooting. And nearly 2 months later, still so many unanswered questions. But tonight, she's giving us more details, telling us she actually knew the alleged gunman well.
Which way I turn, I'm thinking about them.
In an emotional interview tonight, Tamika Jackson Smith opening up about the tragedy that unfolded outside the Altria Theater on June 6th. Video captured this moment of her son, Sean, getting his diploma from Huguenot High School.
I said, how do you feel? He was like, I feel good. I said, I'm very proud of you. He said, thank you.
The family waiting to take pictures when moments later, gunshots and chaos.
My son was walking towards me, and I seen a boy run up behind him and just started shooting him from behind.
Jackson and his stepfather, Renzo Smith, were shot dead. Several others were injured. The gunman was identified as 19-year-old Amari Pollard, who police said was targeting Jackson. 1 month later, this mother sharing new details into their relationship.
Friends that he used to stay in my house when it was little kids.
Wow, so they'd known each other for a long time.
Since they was like 8 years old.
Police said Pollard went to his car to get a gun after an altercation that day. Jackson Smith unclear on what that could have been.
I didn't even know that they was having a problem. You wouldn't think they would be that angry at you that they would take your life.
And months later, questions remain for this mother. Police said they recovered 4 guns from the scene. 2 are still unaccounted for.
My husband got shot, so who shot my husband? I don't know.
And we're also learning more about Jackson's involvement in the virtual homebound program, after documents showed Jackson was learning from home for safety reasons. But Jackson Smith said safety at the graduation was not a previous concern.
I had safety issues other places, but not the graduation.
Instead, she says she's remembering her son as a superstar.
He can dance, rap, play sports. He just was everything.
And her husband as a provider.
He was sick. He'll heal and go right back to it. He just was awesome.
And leaving these strong words for the alleged gunman.
I just want to know why. I have fed you. You have slept in my house. I have gave you rides. There are no words enough to amount to taking my husband and my son from me. Like, why?
Now, police have said that they will not share any further details about the case, but Pollard is due in court this coming Friday. Of course, we'll keep you updated. In the studio tonight, Autumn Childress, 8 News.
Thanks, Autumn. And you may remember we asked Richmond Police Chief Rick Edwards last week for an update on the Huguenot shooting. He told us the department is withholding some information from the public that could be important to this case in court. He says the public deserves the truth, and the truth will come out in the courtroom. We will continue to follow this story, and we will always have the latest updates for you on air and on WRIC.com and in our 8 News app.